Good afternoon, viewers. This is Robert Cox here on the microphone, waiting for my other fellow commentators to come through so that we can have a good commentary for you here today. But the news is that Westbay has won the toss against Chillies and have decided to bat first. It's a bright day here at the Jimmy Powell Oval as Romario Edwards bowls that first one. The ball goes through nicely to the keeper, Jatin Saluja. And the Westbay team, it looks like a familiar side that turns up for Westbay pretty often. Brian Corbin at the top with Sachin Diwangka, Damian Seals, Alexandra Morris, Sheldon Crawford, I see, Andre Scott. Balls first, and that ball pitches outside the off stump. The batsman plays forward and then changes his mind, pull the bat back, and the ball goes through to the keeper. So we have quite a large crowd building here at the Jimmy Powell Oval. Whenever Westbay plays, it seems that they're able to draw a sizable crowd. And I don't know if that's because of their manager Worky, who works behind the scenes diligently to keep this club afloat. But here at the Jimmy Powell Oval, we have quite a crowd. And there you see again Romario Edwards bowling the ball, pitches outside the off stump. The batsman flashes at it, misses, and it goes through to the keeper. So he started very well, Romario Edwards, bowling to one of Cayman's top batsmen, Ramon Sealy, who is opening the batting today. Doesn't normally open the batting as of late, but he's come at the top here. Maybe it's a change of strategy by the Westbay team. We'll see how that goes as Edwards goes into bolt again to Sealy. Plays that down, it runs out to point. And point fielder Kiran has a speculative shy at the wicket. The ball goes through to square leg and is picked up there by Larry. So that gets the team off and running. One without loss. And they're hoping for a very good game here today. These are the two top teams in point standings right now. Second and third, I'm corrected. With Paramount sitting pretty on 18 points, having played 6 games. And Westbay and Chillies following closely behind. With this competition, you will see the top 4 teams go through to the semifinals, where the first would play 4th, second would play 3rd for a spot in the finals. As Romario bowls again, and that one's played on nicely into the onside. That's Sheldon Crawford, who is, again, not customary to opening the batting, but he's come at the top, and it seems to be a strategy here from the Westbay players. The Westbay team. They know that they have to put on a good show here today. They're playing against an equally matched Chillies team. As Romario bowls, and Sealy tickles that one down the leg side to a short fine leg, where he finds Sachin Diwangka. He picks it up, and batsmen are able to cross for a single. So that's 3 off the first over, rather quiet over, no fireworks yet. And the bowler has completed his job very steadily. The batsmen are still feeling the wicket out. It looks like a really good wicket here. It's already played 1 game this morning, Greenies versus Tamil Nadu, and Greenies came out winners in that game. And the wicket seemed to have held up very well. Looks like a batter's wicket. So we'll be expecting Westbay to put on in the region of about 140, 150. Of late, here in Cayman Islands, the wickets are greatly improved. And whereas in the past, 120 runs were enough to see you through, 120 runs are not enough. So, Westbay are pacing themselves in for a long haul this afternoon. So we'll watch Sachin. He's an all-rounder. Bowls right-handed, bats left-handed. He's in the ball to Sealy. That one is down the leg side. Sealy attempts his customary flick. He misses, and the ball goes through to keeper Jatin Saluja. So Sachin is bowling with a slip. He's got a point. He's got extra cover. He's got a man down on the long off boundary. And I see the mid-wicket now is going out to the mid-wicket boundary. He's got a square leg, a sharp fine leg, mid-off and mid-on. Should be a man down at third man as well. And that one is short. And Sealy hooks it away. And the umpire will tell me now it's gone for 4 runs, and that's the first 4 of the innings. It's a very good shot. It's a customary shot from Ramon Sealy. And he moves on to 5. And the innings is off and moving. And Sachin comes in again. A little pitched up this time. Sealy drives to mid-off. And Captain DeMar Johnson runs, Pete Johnson down there at mid-off. Comes in, fields, and have a shy at the stumps with no reward. And that brings Sheldon Crawford into the striking line. So Sachin bowls. Down the leg side again. And runs up to that sharp fine leg position where Romario Ayres is feeling. He takes a shy at the stumps. And the batsmen are able to take an overthrow as the sweeper down on the boundary had to come off the boundary and make the stop. Returns the ball to the keeper, so the batsmen are able to get 2 for that ball that was tickled down the leg side. And Sachin is bowling again. It's a good ball. Pitch on a length, and the batsman can only defend it down the wicket. Today we have umpiring with us, umpire Zick Roy Robinson and umpire Courtney Young, who's over there at square leg. They're 2 seasoned umpires. That's a nice, elegant shot there to mid-off. As Crawford gets another single to his total. His partner Sealy responding very quickly to that single. It was always on. No chance of a run out. And as I glance around the ground, Sealy flicks that one. It goes short of the fielder down at that deep mid-wicket boundary. He takes a shy at the bowler's stumps. The batsman had to hurry up. In the end, the ball did not hit the wickets, and the batsmen were able to take 2. But had Sealy hit that ball any better, there would have been a chance of a catch down at that deep mid-wicket boundary, as it ended up being short of the fielder who was running in. There was no catch there, and the fielder allowed it to bounce once, tick it on the bounce, and was able to retrieve the ball cleanly that is the end of over number 2. Westbay without loss in 2 overs. And Romario Edwards is going to continue. He's making some adjustments to his field. He's bringing around his square leg. That looks like Larry Gomes at square leg. And now we see Romario Edwards now bowling with 2 slips. So he had seen something here. He's getting some assistance from the wicket. Also a good shot at the wicket there by Kiran, who's lurking at that short point position. The batsman were able to take an easy single. But it seemed that the 2 slips were employed for Sheldon Crawford only, as 1 slip comes out. And now it looks like both slips are coming out as Captain DeMar Johnson is making an adjustment to his field. So it looks as though Larry, that was in first slip, he's gone to point. And Kiran has moved around now to cover. Add another man on the offside for Sealy. And Sealy forces that one here. Could be a catch here. And it's taken. It's taken. Just a meaningless push into the air. Maybe it got a bad bounce on the off the pitch, but just casually pushed that one in the air. And Dar, who was lurking there, just a short mid-on position just inside the circle, runs around to his left and in, takes a diving catch on the ground, and Sealy has to go. It was a soft dismissal, and I think Sealy realizes that that's a soft dismissal, and he holds his head down. And he's going to be replaced with Yannick Henry. It's a disappointing end to his wicket. And I know that a lot of Sealy fans would have come here hoping that he would got a big total today on this belter of a wicket. And it wasn't to happen today. So Westbay has lost their first wicket with the score on 15. And Romario Edwards has taken the scalp of the prize scalp of top batsman Ramon Sealy. As we see Yannick Henry coming out of that one down position. Again, this is a promotion for him. And that one is pitched on a length. The batsman head over the ball and plays that one down into the pitch. And it trickles back down the pitch and is fielded there by, looks like, Raman Diman, who's in at a very, very short, look like a silly mid-off. He's backing up now. Romario Edwards again, the bowls to Yannick Henry. He pushes that one down into the short mid-off position there, the silly mid-off position. Seemed to have suspected the unusual bounce from the pitch. But nothing wicked in the pitch. And Romario Edwards continues. On the short, as a batsman to try to tickle that one down the leg side. Not much contact made, but enough to get a single. So he's off strike. And Sheldon Edwards has come back into the firing line. So this is shaping up to be an interesting contest here. We wait to see how long Romario Edwards is going to bowl, if he's going to bowl 2 overs or if he's going to bowl a third. He's doing quite well now. He's the strike bowler here, along with his captain, making some adjustments to the deep, trying to get that deep square leg to come more to his right. And he runs in. Short. Over his head. There is no signal from the umpire. It's a good ball. And that ends the 3rd over. Only 1 run off the over. And 1 wicket fell as Westbay has stalled a little bit. 3 overs. 1 wicket for 16 runs. And they'll need to get the move on here inside the power play while the fielding restrictions are on. And I'm sure that the batsmen are aware of this. As Sachin goes back to his mark, he will be completing his 2nd over. Lancing down the leg side. Seems to be some pad involved in that one, and yes, it is. Batsman have gone through for a leg bye. And Chillies continue. Batsman runs through, abort his run. Umpire Young seems to have spotted something. Maybe some movement by one of the players. And the bowler aborted his run. Umpire Roy Robinson calls dead ball, and we'll try again. That one is pitched up a bit. Crawford eases a push back past the bowler. That's Larry, who's at mid-on, just on the circle. Runs around to his left. Picks up and returns the ball to the bowler. Batsman take a single. Yannick Henry plays that one high into the outfield. It could run into the boundary. It does now. And Henry is off and running with a 4. And we need much more of that in order to get any reward out of this power play. And that was a vacant part of the field. It was a safe shot, eerie, but safe shot. There's no one there. He plays that one out to point where Kirana is lurking, runs in, prevents the batsman from taking a single. And it seems that Chillies have got the screws on here. Ooh, good ball. Pitched just on about a length. Made a little bit of height. But the batsman was clever enough. He realized the ball was making height. And he dropped the bat a little bit, let the ball pass over his forearm, and goes through to the keeper. It's a good ball and very well managed by Yannick Henry. Once pitched up outside the off stump, the batsman digs it out. It's no run there. And that's the end of the fourth over with Westbay on 22 for 1. And they're moving along now at just over 5 and over. And they'll need a lot more than that in this power play. Still 2 overs to come in the power play. But we need to see the batsman get a move on. Romario Ayres, as I suspected, has got the ball. He's going to bowl a 3rd over. And why not? It's a good shot there by Sheldon Crawford. But he only manages to get it to Larry, who is in a backward point position. 1 bounce. Nicely fielded. No chance of a run. And that's very good field placing by the Chillies team. There you go. It's a nice ball cut away. And it goes for 4. That's a very good shot from Sheldon Crawford. He placed that one a little bit to the left of the backward point. And he's gone past backward point like a bullet. The man that a 3rd man could not get around to cut it off. And that ball goes into the boundary for 4 runs. Much needed 4 at this stage. And I think Sheldon understands the position here. Ayres tries a slower ball. The batsman was keyed into that slower ball. He jams it down into the pitch, and it runs out there to mid wicket, where it is fielded. Batsman was still able to take a single. The ball wasn't hit that hard. The fielder had to come off the circle at square leg in order to retrieve the ball. As Romario Ayres continues, trying to dislodge Yannick. Oh, very good shot. He tries a bouncer outside the off stump. The batsman was able to get it over backward point position. Larry runs back and retrieves the ball, gets a nice throw into his keeper. The batsmen, in the meantime, are able to cross for 2. That's a good up and over by Yannick. Recognizing the short ball outside the off stump. Not much pace in that one. No fear for the batsman. Was able to put it over the backward point position for safe 2. There's no one there. And now we see another change in the field as the backward point comes out. He goes to first slip. So Mario tries a short one, bowling around the wicket. And the batsman was equal to the task, pushing that one down into the pitch. There's no run. So Edwards again bowling around the wicket. Again, a little bit short of a length. The batsman rides the ball, gets on top of it, and pushes it down into the pitch. And there is no run. The end of the 5th over. And Westbay is trickling along to 29 for 1. And I think at this point, Chillies will be very happy with the work that is put in so far. Both batsmen, both bowlers have been quite controlled, keeping the ball up to the bat for the most part. A few short balls were tried. The balls that were struck in the outfield on the offside were mostly retrieved. And the Westbay batters are finding it a little bit difficult to pierce the field. There's a change of bowling now from the far end. It's a leg spinner Annabelle Dar. And I must apologize, behind the wicket is actually Jermaine Baker and not Jatin Saluja. I just saw him took his helmet off. And this is the first introductory spin, leg spin. Let's see what Dar does. Flat, with pace. And Sheldon just pushes it back down the wicket. The keeper retrieves. And there's no run. There again. That one was short going down the leg side. The batsman failed to make good contact, only able to get it to a shortish fine leg. The keeper was able to retrieve the ball. The batsmen in the meantime were able to cross for a single. And I think at this point in time, the introduction of spin may be a good idea to see what's in the pitch for the bowlers. Captain Demar Johnson is holding back himself, probably for a later period in the game. And we wait to see how that ploy materializes. Well, Dar comes in, floats that one up. Outside edge goes over the man at point. There was a chance there, but difficult. Batsmen are able to cross for 2. Kiran is not a tall man, so it doesn't take very much to get over his head. And the batsman, seeing that there's no one behind Kiran, takes 2. And Dar floats that one up again. Drives to Yannick Henry, goes through the man at that whitish mid-off position and down to the boundary for 4. Good drive. Mostly along the ground. There was no possibility of a catch there. And that's 4 more to the total. A very good drive there by Yannick Henry. There again, floats that one up outside the off stump. Must have spun away from Henry, who went for a pretty expansive drive. Beaten by that one, taken by the keeper. And Dar seems encouraged to float the ball up. He's got support in a long off and a long on. And Henry drives at the one again. It slices into the air. The long off comes in and takes an easy catch. And Henry is out. Fell for the trap. Trying to hit the leg spin of Dar out of the ground. Ball slices off the outer part of the bat and lobs to the man coming off the long off boundary, who takes an easy catch, and Henry goes. Dara has this ability to break partnerships, and he has come here today and done the same thing. So, the incoming batsman is Dario Walcott. That was the end of the over. Successful over for the bowler. And we see the continuation of spin. At this end, Romario Edwards comes out after bowling 3 of his 4 overs. And Larry Gomes come in with his off spin, bowling in his hat. He never takes that hat off. And he bowled very well last week to give Chillies a very good win. And he's back again. That one is short. Driven down the ground. That's DeMar Johnson, who is at long off, moves to his left and coming in, picks up an easy ball, returns it to the bowler, and the batsmen are able to get a single. So, we're watching Larry Gomes. Short again. Hasn't got his radar right with the batsman. Not able to put away that long hop. Just drives it back along the pitch. Larry's ready to go again. Short again. Driven back along the ground. The batsman is able to make a diving save with his left hand. It's a good ball by Larry this time, much closer to the batsman. The batsman is able to drive into the mid-wicket area and go through for a single. The mid-wicket goes out to the boundary. As the fielding restrictions come off. Short again. Oh, that was a short ball. Sheldon Crawford slapped it just to the right of cover, of extra cover. There's a possibility of a catch there for a diving fielder. The ball goes down to the boundary, retrieved by DeMar Johnson. The batsman took 2. And that one is played out into the onside. Again, the batsmen are able to take an easy 2. And that is the end of Larry Gomes' over. And the score 42 for 2 of 7 overs. And looks like the leg spin of Dara will continue. Making some minor changes to his field to take effect of the removal of the fielding restrictions. Has a much more orthodox field. He's got a man at short third man, backward point. They're at extra cover, a man down on the cover boundary, and he bowls that one, and Walcott is long forward. Plays that one down in front of him. Down the leg side with pace. Again, the batsman does not make clean contact. It runs down to the fine leg boundary. They're able to cross for 3 as Larry, who was feeling as that third man position, had to run around to fine leg to retrieve the ball. And the batsman were able to come through for 3. And that's a nice ball there, floated up by Dar. The batsman thought about it, making a drive, and at the last minute thought against it. It's down the leg side again. Seemed to have come off the thigh of the batsman. Bunks over the keeper. And yes, it is a leg bye. And 1 added to the total. Dar continues. Ball there on a length. Batsman being speculative. Walcott, I don't think he would have faced Dar too many times. He's new to the scene here in cricket in Cayman Islands, so he's a little bit watchful. And Dar floats that one up. The batsman attempts a reverse sweep and only able to get it to that short third man position. It was a full toss. And that's the end of Dar's over. Very good over. Only 4 coming off the over. And Westbay moves on to 46 for 2 of 8 overs. And if you take a look here at the batting lineup here, you'll see that Sealy was caught Dar, Bull, Romario for 9. Crawford is still in there. Yannick Henry was caught Sachin, Bull, Dar for 13. As the batsmen continue, Larry continues. Ball into Walcott, drives that one down to long off. Romario Edwards is down there. He comes off the boundary, makes a simple save, returns the ball back to the bowler. And Larry again, outside the off stump. The batsman dabs that one to point. As Kiran is there. Can't prevent the single. And Walcott moves on with another run. That one is pitched up outside the off stump. Drives through cover. Kiran runs around from point into the outfield, picks up. The batsmen are only able to get 1. And Larry's very steady. One short again. And that was a needless overthrow from Kirande, who's over enthusiastic today. He's made quite a few attempts to throw the stumps down. And after picking up that ball, they're preventing a single. He then gave up the single by attempting to throw at the bowler's end. Larry's short again. He doesn't have his radar today. He's short. The batsman works the ball out into the onside. Dar, who is feeling at a corner position, runs off the boundary and limits the batsman to 1 run. Good ball. Larry floats that one up. Slower ball. Batsman was only able to dig it out off the crease. Ball trickles back to the bowler. And that looks like the end of the over. Number 9, 52 for 2. And the halfway point is approaching. And it looks as though Kieran is going to be operating from that northern end. And he bowls a bit of a leg spin as well. And he bowls into a Dario Walcott. And he has a short third man. He's got a backward point on the circle. He's got a deep cover, extra cover on the boundary. He's got Pete Johnson there at cover. He's got a man down on the long off boundary, a man on the long on boundary, and he's pushing Romario Ayres back from square leg now to down on the square leg boundary, so it's pretty wide, lots of protection. As Kieran bowls, it's a good ball. Larry Walcott is driving down along the ground, picked up there by the man coming off the long off boundary. Looks like Sachin. Kieran bowls also set the off stump. The batsman flashes, makes a little bit of contact, but not enough contact to get past Pete Johnson. That's right there in front of the batter. Kieran bowls again. Sheldon Crawford cuts hard, but cuts straight to point. Dar's right there in the way. Picks up an easy ball, prevents any run. Again, outside the off stump. This time the batsman is able to get through for a quick single. Dar, who's up point, shies to the bowler's end. Seemed to be a close thing there between hitting the stumps and the batsman getting home. And he was able to make his ground for a single. And Kieran again floats that one up. The batsman attempting to reverse sweep on the full toss. Seemed to have had some contact with the bat, not much, as the ball trickles behind for the keeper to collect. Kieran again bowls the ball on about a length. The batsman goes back, drives back along the pitch. And Kieran himself does the fielding. And that's the end of an over, a pretty tidy over. And Westbay now on 54 for 2 at the halfway mark. And I think at this point in time, Chillies will be very happy with the score. And it has been a little while since we had a 4 off either batsman. So the screws are really, really tight here against the Westbay players as Larry continues from the southern end. Again, he backs away, putting that left foot way outside the leg stump, trying to give himself room to a ball that was just barely outside the off stump. Was not able to do that quite effectively, and the ball is trickled back to the bowler. Again, he drives that one out, and there's a poor throw into the bowler, goes over the bowler's head. No overthrow. It's just a bad throw. And the batsmen were not able to take a run. It brings Adario Walcott in strike. Outside the off stump. The batsman again cuts hard. Didn't make the requisite contact for the ball to go square. And it's picked up there at that wide mid-off position. And Larry's bowling a tidy over there. Ball on a length, and Sheldon Crawford dances down the wicket, pushes that one into the onside. The man on the long on boundary comes in. Again, a good ball outside the off stump, closer to the batsman this time. And he was only able to push the ball back along the pitch. Larry is a very tidy bowler. The batsman dances down the wicket, flicks the ball into the onside. Bad misfield there by the man coming off the deep mid-wicket boundary. He could have prevented a second run, but overran the ball, and the batsmen were able to take full effect of the misfield and got a second run. That's the end of Larry's over, end of the 11th over. Westbay on 59 for 2. And I don't think that Westbay are panicking at this time. I don't think they're a team to panic, but I think there'll be some concern that the scoring rate is not a little bit higher, as Sheldon Crawford seems to be retiring. He's walking into the pavilion. I am not sure what the situation is, but it's causing the umpires to confer as we see Captain Brian Corbin, number 41 there on your screen, is walking out to the wicket. And I'll have to find out what the situation is with Sheldon Crawford, as he just turned and came off the pitch. I'm not sure if he's feeling a little bit ill, but cricket continues. Corbin comes in, and I'm wondering if that's a strategic move, because the batsmen were going along very, very casually, not making full use of some of the short balls with the screws tightened. And it could be that Captain Corbin has decided to come in to blast a few balls to the boundary to add some impetus into the score. But I'm only speculating at this time. But he's at the wicket, and he's facing the leg spin of Kiran. That one is kept a little bit low outside the off stump. The batsman plays it out to that wideish mid-off position. As Pete Johnson there at extra cover just runs around and makes an easy save. And I suspect my speculation is correct. That ball was tossed up by Kiran Thodker outside the off stump. And Corbin attempts a big heave of a sweep from outside the off stump, misses it completely. The ball goes through to the keeper. And he's down on one knee for this one. Short ball. Effectively gets a single out to the man on the deep mid-wicket boundary, who runs in, makes a easy save, returns the ball to the bowler. And Corbin was off the mark with a single. And that was the hitting out in the outfield. He's going to get caught, and he's out caught. Down at that deep mid-wicket position. I'm trying to see who the fielder is. It looks like I can't see his number, but it could be Amiel Bryan. It looks like Amiel Bryan to me. Yes, it is Amiel Bryan. Takes a catch on that deep mid-wicket boundary, run around to his right, and Dario Walcott, who was trying to accelerate the score, gets too much under that one, and he got more height than distance, and he perishes in the end to the man running off the deep mid-wicket boundary, and was able to take an easy catch in the end. So, Westbay lose their third wicket, and we see, I think that is Romeo Dunker who's coming to replace Walcott. It's a seasoned veteran, a player of the Cayman Islands national team, bats left-handed, bowls seam for left hand. And that one is close, seems to have come off the inner part of the bat. The bowler was very enthusiastic with his appeal, but the umpire was not interested, and Dunker survives. It's a drive there, just past Pete Johnson there, inside the circle on the onside. The ball runs out to the man at the long on boundary, is wide to his left. Batsmen take a single. And that's the end of the 12th over, I think. The score is a little bit behind. But Larry Gomes is going to continue. He's got, so far, let's see what the bowling figures look like. Romario has bowled 3 overs, Sachin has bowled 2, Kiran has bowled 2, and Larry is now into his 4th over. That came quickly. And he's bowling to Dunker. The ball seemed to get onto the batsman much quicker than he anticipated. He pushes it down into the ground as more and more spectators are coming into the field and coming into the ground. He's filling up nicely as Dunker gets on the one that's pitched up and lifts it over the long on boundary. The man running around has no chance, and Dunker gets that one over the boundary line for 6. A much needed 6 in order to accelerate the scoring, because it's badly needed by Westbay at this point. I think Dunker, being a seasoned national player, knows the script, knows that right now the scoring rate is a little bit low, it needs to push on. And he bowls that one short again outside the off stump. Dunker smashes it into the outfield. The man coming off the boundary there affects. The save cannot prevent 2 runs. And that's 2 more to Dunker, 2 more to the total. Short again. And Dunker inside his wicket. And he pulls that one down to long on, where Romario Errors retrieves. And the batsman goes through for a 1. Larry's making a little adjustment to his field. Larry continues. Short. Corbin goes back, plays that one, not very convincingly, comes off the inner part of the bat, runs down to short fine leg position where Sachin is lurking, makes a single. Batsman goes through for one. And Larry floats that one again. Dunker drives out to a whitish mid-off position. Not able to get a run. Dar is a fielder there. And the batsmen are able to cross for a single. So we continue here in the 13th over. Westbay are 72 for 4. And Kiran is going to continue from the northern end. Corbin sweeps that one off the wicket, off his middle stump. Goes down to a deep backward square leg position. He's able to get 2. And now we are seeing some momentum into the scoring. Again, that one on middle stump. Corbin swivels his body, pulls that one around, and a good save there on the boundary by the fielder. Cannot prevent the batsman from getting 2 runs. And the score moves on to 76 for 4 in the 14th over. As Kiran is trying to restrict the scoring. He's got 3 men down on the onside. They're all 3 on the boundary there for protection. And that one is on or about off stump. The batsman pushes it down in front of him, noting that there are no short fielders there in the offside. He's able to go through for an easy single. And now those fielders that were deep on the boundary on the leg side are coming in onto the edge of the circle. We have Romario at backward square leg. We have, and I can't make out who that is, Ford's. Oh, he's moving around now to mid-wicket. He keeps moving. We've got a fielder down on the deep mid-wicket boundary as Kiran bowls. One is going down the leg side with Dunker trying to hoik that one down to the deep mid-wicket area. Does not make contact. The ball rushes into his pad. Again, he ball just outside the off stump. He pulls it into the onside, down to that deep long on area where Sachin down there comes around and makes a save. And Kiran bowls to Corbin again. He gets down on one knee again, and he hits that one into to the leg side, and he gets 4 runs. That's a very good shot because the fielder is more forward of square, and that ball was playing more backward of square, so there was some running involved, and the fielder could not get around in time. And Corbin seems like he's able now to manipulate the field, get the fielders to move around, make the captain do some work. And that is the end of the 14th over, where the score is now 82 for 4. And is looking more respectable with 6 overs to come. I think Westbay can still get up to 130, 140. But it's a change of bowling here from the northern end. And it's interesting that Captain Damar has not bowled himself, but has gone back to the spin of Roman Deman, who's going to bowl off spin around the wicket. He'll be bowling to Romeo Dunker. Short down the leg side, and that one goes for a wide. There might have been an opportunity of a stumping there, but the ball was in the keeper's glove and out onto the ground. And it's an opportunity miss. Again, that ball was slanted down leg side again. The batsman prodded the ball down in front of him, runs through for a quick single. Could not be prevented by the keeper, who attempted to kick the ball down to the bowler's end. So what we're seeing now is a more spread field for Roman Deman as he goes into bowl. That one is wide outside the off stump. The batsman lets it go, takes the extra. That one seemed to be wide again. So that's 2 extras. And Corbin wisely did not go after those 2 wide balls, but rather take the 2 extras. This time a little bit wide of the off stump again. And Corbin square drives. The ball goes out to this deep cover, the extra cover position. A man down there on the boundary retrieves. And the batsmen are able to go through for a single. Roman continues. That's a much better ball, a little faster. And all Dunker could do with it is push it back along the pitch. Slanting down leg side again, and Dunker is able to make connection down the leg side, and that one goes into the boundary for 4 runs. That's a very good shot by Dunker. Again, there's nobody down there. And any ball that slants down the leg side and the batsman is able to make any kind of contact is going to go for 4 runs. And Dunker is moving on nicely. Down the leg side, he misses that one. Seemed to have come off some part of his body. There's no signal from umpire Young. Down the leg side again. Batsman not able to make good contact. Seemed to have come off the glove and trickles down to a short third man. The fielder at square leg runs around and makes a save. The end of the 15th over. And Westbay on 92 for 4. So there's been quite of a recovery here. And what seemed to be a perilous position for Westbay at the time seems now to be working out for them with the removal of Sheldon Crawford. I anticipate that was a strategic move. Haven't been able to ascertain as yet. But with Corbin coming to the wicket, who was able to hit some lusty boundaries, partnered by Romeo Dunker. We've got 2 national players at the wicket, and they seem to have accelerated the score a bit, and now it's looking more respectable. And bowling from this end was a full toss, and the batsman seemed to have taken happy hour on that one and smashes it down to the boundary. The umpires are not yet sure if it has gone full. Now they signal 6. 6 runs. That was a gift from the bowler. It's a new bowler. That was his first ball. I think that would have been, that's another full toss. This time it's dropping, and the batsmen are able to cross for a single as Romeo drove that one down to long on. Rahul Baksani is the bowler. It's Corbin waits for Rahul. I think he's been watching from the non-strikers end, noticing that 2 full tosses were served up for the first 2 balls. I think Corbin is looking for a little bit of a happy hour here. Let's see what he does. He speculatively plays that one into point. The batsman at point runs in because he's on the edge of the circle. Corbin intelligently will play that one with soft hands and is able to get a single, which brings Dunker back into strike. It's a good ball driven down the ground. And it looks like Amiel Bryan down there comes around from his position at long off. Makes a save. The batsmen are only able to take a single. Brings Corbin back into strike. And this is exactly what I thought. Corbin gets under that one. He lifts it. And it's just short of the fielder. He's a little bit lucky here. Had he hit that any better, it would have gone right into the arms of Amiel Bryan, who's down on that mid-wicket boundary. The ball drops about 6 meters in front of him. He's able to take it on the first bounce. And the batsman goes through for a single. And Dunker trying to work that one again into the onside. Doesn't make very good contact. It goes a little bit aerial down to long on, and Sachin down there comes off the boundary. Limits the batsman to a single. And the score moves on to 103. It looks like Rahman will continue from this northern end. Ball into Dunker. Shorty gets that one down to long off. The batsmen are able to come through for a single. Larry, who's lurking down there, gets the ball back into the ball. And I'm joined in the commentary by, oh, there's a shot there by Corbin trying to work that ball off the off stump down to the leg, some part of the leg side. Not a good looking shot. But I'm joined here in the commentary box by Vicky Danaram. Corbin square drives that one upishly. It goes down into the deep. Oh, into the deep extra cover area. I can't see the batsman down there. The fielder down there. but the batsman is able to come through for a single. And Rahman will continue. And Dunker gets under that one, lifts it over the long arm boundary. That looks like it's gone for a big six. And that's exactly what Westbay needs at this time. They need some more impetus into the scoring. And Vicky, welcome to the commentary box area here with Westbay on 111 for 4 of 16 overs. What do you think of the game at this stage?
Well, it's getting to be about that time, Mr. Rob. Thank you for having me. It's getting to be about that time in the innings. I think now they're looking to shift gears to get to about 150, and that might be very competitive. That's hit straight back down the ground from Duncan. Demar runs off to his right, and it went into the side screen for 4. Another 4 to the score.
And like you said, it's that time of the innings where these two established national team players, they know the script, they know they need to get on with the game, and it's time to start pushing on. They take advantage of the spin.
Wow,
And
six
Duncan.
by Duncan. That's even bigger than
Duncan.
the first one. That's all the way
huge.
into the parking lot.
It's a huge 6 from Romeo Donkey. Got under that one and dispatched it over the side screen down here at the Jimmy Powell Oval. And at the end of the 17th over, Westbay has moved on nicely to 121. 3 overs to go. I was speculating at one time that they would be able to get 130. I think I have to revise my total here. And with 3 overs to go, they should be able to get to 150. I'm still a little bit concerned that Captain DeMar Johnson has not bowled a ball.
Yeah, that's very interesting. He did not bowl a ball last week as well to the Northwesters. And I think he missed a trick here, Mr. Rob, going 1 over too many with the spinners. With just 3 overs left, I think DeMar hasn't bowled a ball yet. And you have overs from Sachin and Edwards. I think he bowled 1 too many overs of the spin, and he paid for that there. That over went for 18 runs, and I think it shifted the momentum from Chillies into Westbay favor.
And I think you're absolutely right. And I will have to have a chat with DeMar at some point to find out exactly what his strategy here is with not bowling. And I must agree with you that I think we had 1 or 2 overs of spin, and that went on a little bit too long. So I don't expect to see Rahman back in the attack again.
Speaking of the fast bowler, Sachin is back now. He comes from the far end. Bowler to Corbin. Corbin whacks it through to mid-wicket. Dunker is looking for a second. Corbin comes back. It's going to be tight at the keeper's end, and Corbin is short of his ground. Another wicket. A wicket and a break in the momentum perhaps for Westbay. But it's that time of the innings with only 17 balls remaining. You need to go for every run that you can, Mr. Rob.
Yes, but I think there was very good feeling there. The ball came in right over the bails. I think Amir Brand Corbin misjudged the fielding ability of Amir Brand. The ball came in right over the bails, and it would have taken the ball right over the bails to effect a run out. And Corbin goes, having played a very good innings supporting Dunker. I think he got about 15. And as you said, Mr. Vicky, this at that time when runs are essential.
Especially when there were only 4 down, they have wickets in the shed, but they need runs now. They could actually push to get 155, 160, and we know Chillies, they're a very good batting team with 2 informed batters at the top with Sachin and Baker. So every run now is vital for Westbay.
It looks like, what's his number, 17? Darian Seal. Damien Seal, I think his name is. Or it's Darian Seal. Damien Seal.
Oh, that's a
Was,
good ball by
was,
Sachin, straight into the block hole. Mr. Seal blocked it into the cover region for one. Dunker is back on strike now, and he is 44 from 21. And he is key to this Westbay team getting over 150 at this point.
absolutely. And with Dunker at the wicket, I think Westbay have a chance to get 150 still. But we'll have to see what support he's able to get from Seal. He doesn't have much more in the pavilion to come out to support him, so he needs to stay there until the end.
What do you think of his field placing here, Mr. Rob? There's no fine leg. There's a third man, a man in deep cover, a long off, long on, a deep mid wicket. There's no fine leg. Nobody behind square on the leg side. And Sachin is over the wicket to the left hander. Anything on the pads there should be easy runs.
Absolutely. And I was just looking at that. I think the man down on the deep cover boundary down there, I think it's a little bit wasted.
I think they're switching the field now. They put out cow corner, man at cow corner, and they're bringing in the third man into the circle. But still, vacant gaps all the way from square leg to fine leg. Anything on the pads should be runs. One Duncan blocks it into the covers, and they take a single. Good ball by Sachin on a hard length. Sachin bowled quite a heavy ball, Mr. Rob, don't you think?
Yes, I do actually. He's a very steady bowler. I've been watching him for a little while now. He's a good all-rounder. More useful with the bat than with the ball. He's a very steady bowler. As I say, he's not very penetrative, but he's a bowler that you can call on to keep the runs down. And I guess that's why Demar has brought him into the attack at this time.
I think he's rather more steady than you would give him credit for, because if Captain Demar is bowling him in front of himself, a national pacer in front of the national pacer, Captain Demar has quite a high amount of confidence in Sachin's bowling ability.
Oh yes, and at this juncture, it doesn't look as though Demar is going to bowl any at all. And like you said earlier.
Oh, that's a good ball by Sachin right in the block hole, and it's a dot. Dots are so valuable at this time of the innings with only 13 balls to go. I suspect that Dunker is not going to run a single off this last ball here. It's 2, 4, or 6. Sachin comes in and he bowls another full one, and the batsman is beaten outside off some. He went for an almighty heave, and he just got nothing but air.
Yes, it's a good ball to miss, just so to get Dunker back in strike, and he's the man in form now. He's on 45 by my check here.
There was a very good over from Sachin. 3 runs and a run-out wicket. Close it off with 3 dots in the 18th over. That's excellent bowling. And now we have the other fast bowler from the commentary from the pavilion end. Romario Edwards returns. I suspect it's 2 from Edwards, 1 from Edwards. I think Sachin will bowl the last one from the far end to close out the innings. I think they'll try to keep this score below 140. But Dunker has other plans, of course.
Yes, and he's also looking for his 50 as well. So he will not be kept quiet.
And he's hitting with the wind to the leg side. That's where he hit those 2 massive sixes over from this end before. Edwards comes in. He bowls full and wide. What a good ball. Full and wide Yorker. All Duncan could do is squeeze it to short third man for a single, and the score moves on to 125. 11 balls to go, Mr. Rob. How much do you think that they could get?
Well, if you target 2 runs per ball, I would think that they should be able to get at least another 20 of these remaining balls, which will see them very close to that 150 mark that I think that they're aiming for. And
I think that 145 to 150 will be competitive on this fabulous batting track that we have here at Jimmy Powell.
well, it would at least give Westbay something to bowl at. If they had been down in the 120 area, I don't think they would have had enough.
Edward comes in, what a beautiful Yorker into the pads, and it appears to be just a leg by the short third man. Yorkers spot on.
Yes, and his first 3 overs were very well bowled as well. Tight. I don't think there were any boundaries coming off his first 3 overs, and he's bowling. I can see here seems he got 3.2 overs, 13 runs, 1 wicket, and that's very tidy.
I think he's going for 6 of 6 Yorkers here. He already has 2 in the bag. He runs in, holds the dunker. Oh, and that one is a bit of a length. A slice through third man. It looks like it's running away for 4, and it's 4. And that's 50 for Romeo Dunker. Well played innings, 50 from 24 balls. His team really needed him, and he has delivered for them. But the job is not done as yet. He still has 9 more balls to go.
And it came at a critical time. That's a very important 50. It came at a time when the Westbay team was actually stalling, and with Dunker and his captain Brian Corbin were able to put some impetus into the scoring and get things moving again.
Changing the field after that shot. Third man back on the boundary. Deep square leg is up in the circle. Edwards comes in and he bowls. Well bowled Yorker. Well played by Dunker. Just dug it out to a backward point and they take a single. The score moves to 131 with 8 balls to go.
Yes, and it seems the contest has picked up here because Westbay is trying to accelerate the scoring, and Chillies is trying to restrict the scoring. So we're seeing a little contest here now to finish off this innings.
Edwards comes in again, and he bowls another full one. He's struck over long on, and it goes all the way for a mighty 6. That is out of the ground into the bushes. It will take some time to retrieve.
And
the score moves on to 137 now with 1 ball remaining in the 19th over.
And that was not the ball to bowl.
He missed his length there by a good 3 feet.
Yep.
And he pays the price.
Yes.
There's a game of small margins, Mr. Rowe.
Very, very small. Like I said, that was not the ball to bowl. He started very well, bowling the ball wide out steady off stump and on the crease. And I'm not sure if he was aiming for that same ball again, but like I said, he missed the mark awfully. And the bowler was able to get that one knee down underneath the ball and raise the ball over the side screen for a well-deserved 6.
137 is the score for 5 now with 7 ball remaining in the innings. I still think Mr. Rob 150, 155 is on the cards here. And I suspect that Dunker will... The message Dunker has passed his batting partner should be, you have a go at this last one. I need the last over for myself.
Absolutely. They've got to share the load here. And I don't know if they'll be able to leave the batting for each other. I think both batsmen have to continue to go after the ball. And there's nothing to lose. They're only 5 wickets down, so there's nothing to lose. They need to go for it at this time.
Edwards charges in. Last ball of his spell. And he bowls a wide down the leg side. They sneak a by as well. So it's 2 wides to the score. And the ball has to be rebowled. I think he's trying too hard for that leg stump Yorker. It hasn't paid off in the last 2 balls. It went for 8 runs. 6 and now 2 wides. And Dunker has the strike now for the last ball. This could prove costly.
Yeah, it looks as though he's trying something new. I don't know why. Why don't we stick to the basics and just get the over? And
what started off as a very good over, the first 2 balls just conceding single. It's now 15 with the ball remaining. And he bowls a slow off cut at Dunker, and Dunker swipes and miss. It was outside the off stump, and his spell has come to an end.
That's a very, very good ball. Dunker was expecting a ball much faster than that, and he played so early that he completely missed the ball. He's lost his shape, and the ball goes through to wicketkeeper Baker.
You will take that spell from your fast ball any day of the week, Mr. Rabon.
Absolutely.
It was 26 for 1.
Absolutely. I like
2 bad balls, not entire spell.
exactly, and that's where I was going to comment on the first 20 balls of his spell were very good balls. I probably did.
You commented no boundaries off the entire spell, and then he had a slice through third man.
Yes.
And a 6 over long on.
Yes.
To follow.
Yes.
Last over, Sachin with the ball. The score is 139 for 5 with Seals on strike. Sachin hits a hard length. He punches it down the ground to long off. Dunker's charging back for the second, and he makes it quite easily. The throw comes to the far end, and the batsman is very safe. 2 more to the score.
Yes, and we've been getting a lot of runs down to long off. The batsmen have been pushing the ball along the ground pretty often.
Larry on the boundary there. I think
Yes.
he is not the quickest fielder you find in this Chillies team.
No.
And the bowls a full one. It's swiped across the line. Bottom of the bat long on. Dunker charges back again for 2. The throw comes to Baker at the keeper's end. And he gets an awful bounce. Body behind the ball. 2 more to the score.
Yes.
Where is Dunker getting this energy from at this time, Mr. Rob? He's charging back to the double.
Well, yes. I mean, he knows there's only a few balls to be bowled, so he can put everything into it now. There's no excuse. He can't complain of being tired. He's gone 51 runs, and we need to get as many as we can.
Sachin charges in, and he bowls a slow ball into the wicket. Deceived the batsman completely. He played no shot. He was outfoxed there by Sachin. That was a very good ball.
Very, very good delivery.
So 4 runs out of the first 3 balls of the last over, where it scores 143 for 5. Sachin charges in again from the far end. He bowls. Oh, the batsman walks across and he tries a little paddle, misses, hits him on the pad, and they take a leg bite to backward point. And Dunker is on strike for these last 2 balls.
I thought the batsman tried an unnecessary shot there. That ball could have been pushed out into the offside, and he probably could have got 2. There are loads of spaces out on the offside.
I believe that was a very premeditated shot. He made up his mind very early that he's going to walk across and try to scoop that with fine leg and backward straight leg in the circle. Oh, what a ball by Sachin. Brilliant Yorker, leg stump. Dunker could only do so much with that. Oh, however, it's 1 remaining ball for the over. That was well kept out and was well bowled.
Yeah, very, very good ball to bowl at this point in the game. He needs to repeat that again.
Baker is shouting instructions to Pete now. Everybody's on the edge of the circle. Last ball of the innings. Sachin comes in, bowls to Dunker. Hard length, and he bowls him top of middle. That's a good finish by Chillies there. 144, Mr. Rob, 145 to win.
Yes.
Have something on the board.
Absolutely. And even though they didn't get the 150, I mean, it's a psychological threshold, but 144, 145 is just as good as 150. And I must applaud the Westbay team for getting up to that total, because at one point in time, I didn't think that they were going to get close to it.
They gave these supporters, these many supporters that came out here today to watch this fantastic contest, something to cheer about, something to look forward to. It's a score on the board that can be defended, also can be chased down. You just have to wait and see how the second half goes. Good batting from Dunker. He finishes with 51 from 26 balls. Seals remain not out on 11. Fantastic spell of bowling by Sachin. Sachin bowled 4 overs for 23 and got 1 wicket there. The scorecard reads 9 for Ramon Seeley, 24 for Sheldon Crawford, 13 for Yannick Henry, Adari Walcott, 10 from 16, that was a struggle. Captain Brian Corbin, 16 from 15, that was a struggle as well, but he helped in a partnership to get them to a total. But the standout batter, again, Mr. Rob, is Romeo Dunker, 51 from 26 balls.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at the bowling stats now to see how well the Chillies team bowled, you see that Romario Evers, who started out with his first 3 overs only for 13 runs, ended up with 4 overs for 26. He took 1 wicket. Sachin bowled 4 overs for 23. That's well done as well. One wicket. Dar bowled 2 with his leg spin for 10. Larry Gomes bowled 4 for 28. Expensive by his measly standards. Kiran bowled 3 for 14. Took 1 wicket. Rahman got the punishment. He got bowled 2 overs for 28. And Rahul Baksani, who came on and gifted a couple of full tosses that went to the boundary, bowled his 1 over for 11 runs.
Missing from that bowling lineup, of course, is Captain Demar Johnson. It's strange to see a bowling card without his name on it, and he's on the field, being one of the standout fast bowlers on island.
Yeah, that's a mystery to me. And
Suspect a niggle of some sort.
well, it wasn't indicated to me that there was a niggle. thought that last week's position when he did not bowl was part of his strategy, but seeing him not bowling again this week, I think I have to assume that there's some sort of niggle that he's carrying that he doesn't want to aggravate, but he doesn't seem to be struggling when he's walking normally. Maybe he might have a problem with his shoulder or his elbow or maybe a knee or something that he's not indicating very, very clearly. You know, so we have to wait and see what's going on here. So at the innings break, Westbay is 144 for 6 of their 20 overs. And we will take a short break here and come back to you when Chillies is ready to start their innings. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Jimmy Powell Oval for the first ball of the second innings. Dario Walcott runs in and bowls to Jermaine Baker. A short one to start off with, and he tried to whack it over the point region, a bottom edge that went to a backward point. The openers, Sachin and Baker, they're in good form. Sachin, of course, the top of the runs chart. 350s in 5 games, over 240 runs for the tournament so far. Dario Walcott, off a long run, charges in, bowls to Baker. It's full into the pads. Baker works it nicely to short mid-wicket, who dives and saves the run and fires a throw at the non-striker end. No run, 2 dots on the trot. And the score is still 0 for 0 off 2 balls. Dario Walcott has been quite a find for Westbay team. He charges in, bowls into the pitch, and Baker tries an almighty pull. A bottom edge into his pads that rolls just off the square. 3 dot balls on the trot to start the innings. There's a fine leg, a deep square leg, a deep fine leg, a deep square leg, short mid-wicket, mid-on, mid-off, extra cover, man at cover, backward point, and short third man. I suspect most of these deliveries will be into the pitch and at the body of the batsman. And we all know that Baker is very strong outside his off stump. They will try to give him no room. Dario comes in, he bowls into the pitch, into the body. Baker pulls out to deep mid-wicket, into the vacant area. They run 1, comes back for the second, and the innings is underway. 2 runs on the board, Baker. 4 balls in the over finish. Bowls hard length into the pitch. Baker tries to manufacture a shot off the bottom part of the bat to short mid-wicket. There's no run. This Westbay team has a pretty balanced bowling attack, so these 145 might not be as straightforward as it seems on this beautiful batting pitch. Dario comes in again, last ball of the over. He bowls full into the pads. Baker drives down the ground. They take a single. There's a misfield, possibility of a 2, but Sachin refuses it sensibly and rightfully so. There was no second run there. At the end of the first over, the score is 3 without loss, chasing 147 for victory. Baker on strike to start the second over. Dunker, after his fabulous innings with the bat, has a job to do here with the ball in hand. He is bowling from the far end. He will come left arm over to Baker. The field is quite similar to what Dario had. Short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, short mid-wicket. There's deep mid-wicket on the boundary and a deep fine leg. I suspect he will try to remain as close as possible to the Baker and don't give him any room outside that off stump to free those hands. Westbay looks like they're here with a plan for Baker, but the man they should really be worried about is the guy who hasn't faced the ball yet at the non-striker end, Sachin. He's been in a real purple patch over the last few weeks. Dunker comes in, bowls, and it's wide down the leg, well taken by skipper Brian Corbin. One-handed down the leg side. I find it very surprising that Brian Corbin has the gloves today. I would think Ramon Seeley would be the one with the gloves, but I suspect they need a few overs out of him. Dunker charges in, bowls full on the off stump, swinging back. Baker comes forward and pushes that one to mid-off. There's no run. The score remains at 4, 1.1 over. It's a wonderful outfield here at Jimmy Powell. Anything in the gap will run. You will get value for your shots. Dunker comes in, he bowls. Down the leg again, and another fantastic take by skipper Brian Corbin. He can't be pleased with this bowling from Dunker. Corbin has put himself on the ground twice in the space of 3 balls to save runs for his team. I haven't seen him on the ground twice in the last 2 months to save a ball. Dunker charges in once again, bowls. Oh, that's Sabima. That's too high. Baker ducks out of the way. The ball drops just before the keeper and scuttles away down to the boundary for 4. I suspect that he will get a warning from the umpire for a beamer. Dunker has had this problem. That's a no ball over the waist, rightfully called so by the square leg umpire. Baker ducked to save himself, and the ball ran away for 4. He comes in now for the free hit, and he bowls a slow one into the wicket that Baker heaves across the line. It bounces, it rolls to the boundary in the vacant long on area. That's 4 runs. 2 batters you don't want to give free hits to, Baker and Sachin. That one ball has cost his team 9 runs. And the score moves on now to 14 for loss of no wicket. Dunker has bowled wide, dot, wide, 5 no balls, and a 4. He's only delivered 2 balls in this over so far. And Chillies are up and going. There's a slight change to the field. They move the short mid-wicket to, I suspect, a backward square leg. And they move deep mid-wicket into a cow corner position. Dunker steams in. He bowls to Baker. Oh, and that's another full one swinging into the pads. I suspect that there was an on the edge there. There's no run. And Dunker gives the batsman a bit of a stare. This is a good contest. National opening bowler versus national opening batter. I think this is what the people came out here to see. Dunker comes in and he bowls. Baker tries to drive off the inner part of the bat out to deep mid-wicket. They run 1. They come back for a second. And Baker is that out? Is that out? That was very, very sloppy from Baker. That was very sloppy from a national opening batter. He just jogged back for that second one, and the throw came to his end. It was a direct hit. And I suspect that he just got his bat down in time. They don't need a needless run out like that at this point in time. That was very, very careless from a senior batter. Well done from the fielder on the boundary, Sheldon Crawford. The score moves on to 16 now. We're still in the second over. 2 balls remaining. Dunker comes in once again, passes the umpire, and Baker pulls out of it. Somebody was chirping, I believe. I think the backward point fielder was having a few words at Baker. He settles. Dunker turns at the top of his mark and comes in. And he bowls one into the pads. There's a clear plan. A very clear plan from the Westbay team not to give Jermaine Baker any width, any room outside that off stump to free his hands through the covers, the long off region, even the point region where he loves to play so much of where he scores so much of his runs. Last ball remaining in the second over. Dunker comes in, he bowls, and Baker makes room this time and drives to mid-off for a single. And the over comes to an end with the score on 15 without loss. That was quite an eventful over there. Adario has the ball from the pavilion end. He runs in, bowls, slow ball, full to Baker, into his pads once more. He stroked that to mid-on. There's no run. Yannick Henry at mid-on did the fielding there. And Sachin has not faced a ball in the innings as yet. Leading run scorer in the tournament so far. 350s in 5 innings. And he hasn't faced a ball, and we're into the 14th ball of the innings. Adario charges in, and he bowls a back of a length ball into the body, short, and Baker pulls that one through backward square leg for 4. That was a good shot, well in control. And Baker has the plan now. He knows what they're doing. They can't be too predictable to him because he's too good of a batsman not to be able to adjust. That was short, into the pitch, into the body, and it sat up nicely to be spunked through the backward square leg region. Adario comes in again. Runs past the umpire, jumps, bowls, full into the pads, down the leg side, between the batsman and the stump, and skipper Brian Corbin dive. Didn't even get a glove on it. 4 byes. Boundaries are coming now, runs are coming now. And I think a bit of a pressure has come off of Baker. The plan is very, very clear, to bowl as straight as possible to him. And Baker knows that's the plan. He will make that room. Adario followed him, and it was so far down the leg, skipper Brian Corbin had no chance of getting it. Score moves on to 25 now, 2.3 overs. Adario comes in again from the pavilion end. Bowls. And he's bowled him! Baker made some room towards the leg side to access his favorite offside, and that has bowled him off stump. And that's a big wicket for Westbay. They needed that after back-to-back 4s. And Baker has to depart for 18 from 15 balls. And Westbay have their breakthrough. They've broken this fearful partnership at the top of the order. They've separated Sachin and Baker. A few teams have not been able to do that so far in this tournament, and they paid the price. But Westbay has an opening, and it looks like Captain Demar Johnson is headed out to the middle at a number 3 position. Very unusual for him. But he didn't do anything with the ball. He didn't bowl a ball to this. I suspect he's playing in the team as a pure batter. He tries to the crease at number 3. This is an interesting move, an aggressive move from Chillies. And that has been their brand of cricket this tournament, this season. They play fearless cricket, much like the English team. Let's hope they don't fall like the English team. And this batting lineup of Chillies they have quite a few aggressive batters. Sachin, Baker, Demar Johnson. They have Abu Navdar, Romario Edwards, Pete Johnson. Some very attacking batsmen there. There's also a sensible head in Amil, Brian. Larry Gomes, Kieran, and Rahman could also handle themselves with the bat. There's a long, long batting lineup. Adario charges in. Short, and what a ball. What a ball from Adario. Well played by Demar. He did excellent to avoid that. That was an aggressive force ball. Almost took Demar's head off. Skipper Brian Corbin catches it with a jump and over his head. I feel Adario is fully warmed up now. 2.5 overs, scores 25 for 1. Minor adjustments to the field by skipper Brian Corbin. Adario comes in, passes the umpire, bowls. And Dimhar has a swipe at it. And he got nothing but air. And it's a dot ball to finish. I believe Dimhar was rattled a bit by that short ball. He backed away and he just decided that he was going to go for that shot regardless of where the ball pitched. The over comes to an end, 25 for 1 in 3 over. It's been entertaining cricket so far. Dunker comes in for his second over. Skipper Brian Corbin making adjustments to the field. Sachin is on strike now. He faced 1 ball so far in this innings. There's a fine leg in the circle, deep square leg on the boundary, short mid-wicket, mid-on. Dunker comes in, into the pads, hit the tight guard, rolled away to short mid-wicket. There's no run. There's a short third man in the circle, backward point, extra cover mid-off. And there is a deep cover on the boundary. So this field is set for into the pitch kind of bowling. There will be nothing on the drives for Sachin.
Taken over here from Mr. Vicky, who has exited the comms box for a short while. And Chillies are off to an interesting start here. They're on 26 now into the 4th over. So the chase is definitely on. I'm a little bit kerfuffled by the appearance of Johnson at number 3. I would have imagined that he would have batted a little bit lower down the innings, but maybe he has a strategy for himself to come up number 3 and maybe get a few runs here. Dunker continues. It's a good ball. The batsman drives, misses. In true to the wicketkeeper who appeals. The umpire not interested. And the weather continues to hold here at the Jimmy Powell Oval. It slashes, it goes through the hands of the fielder there at whitish. It goes into the boundary for 4 as well. Just the more slashes that I want. It went aerial, just right of cover. The batsman, the fielder dived to his right. It seemed as though the ball went through between his hands. Maybe the sun was in his eyes because he's actually facing the sun here, and it bulleted down to the boundary for 4 runs. So Demar is off and running. And he drives again. Can't beat the man there at cover, who attempts a shy to the wicket. The batsman can't get a single, and the score remains on 30. And Dunker continues. Wide of the wicket, through the keeper, down to the boundary for 5 wides. I think the keeper there is a little bit upset with himself that He wasn't able to grab that one. It was a little wide of him. I suspect he might be a little bit disappointed with his front line bowlers. Not hitting the straps at all today, Romeo Dunker. He's not putting the ball in the right areas, and he has not been effective. I don't know if he's a little bit tired from that 50 yard that he made, but here he comes again. Bowls a full one up to the batter, Damar Johnson. Damar was able to get under it, lifts it over that cover area, down to the deep cover boundary. The fielder down there runs around, stops the ball from going into the boundary, and returns the ball to the bowler. That's the end of the over, number 4. And the score is 37 for 1 of 4 overs. It might be worthwhile at this time to see what the worm looks like for the two teams. And as you can see there, at this point in time, Chillies are a little bit ahead of the rate. I recall that Westbay had a very, very slow start. So Chillies at this time are ahead of the rate, and we have to wait and see if they are able to maintain the pace as Adario Walcott takes the ball and is ready to continue his spell. He's making some slight adjustments to the field. He's not having to bowl at the left-handed Sachin for a while. I don't think he's bowled to Sachin yet. And he's going to come around the wicket to bowl to Sachin. And we have a pretty orthodox field here for the power play. And Daryl Walker trying to slant the ball across the batter, only manages to slant that one down the leg side for a wide. And it was nicely stopped there by Corbin. I think it would be more interesting to see how Walcott goes to Sachin. Much better ball outside the off stump. He pushes that one a backward point. The man there runs around, stops it easily, and Sachin gets a single. So it's still quite a ways to go here, and as more adjustments are made to the field for the right-handed Damar Johnson. As the deep mid-wicket now comes into deep cover. And Damar down on one knee, picks up that length ball and hoists it over corner. Looks like yes, for a 6. And that was a very good shot. Seems premeditated. Down on one knee. Lifts it over the infield, mindful of the power play is still in effect. There's no one down there to make a stop. And that ball runs in. It runs over the boundary actually for 6. Umpire inspects the ball. And we are able to continue. I think that's why Damar promoted himself to number 3. He wants to get some runs quickly. Walcott in, bowls, slower ball, strikes the batsman on the left instep. The ball runs out to that short third man position. Bowler appealed. There was nothing there. That ball was going wide down the leg side. And the umpire signals leg by. And I'm rejoined here by my co-commentator, Vicky, who will pick up the commentary at this time.
Mr. Rob, that was a very comical appeal. That ball would have missed another 6 stumps. It was so far down the leg.
Absolutely.
Walcott charges in, bowls, short, down the leg, 5 wides. They're really working skipper Brian Corbin out today behind the stump. That's the 4th time he's had to dive to save some runs down the leg.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The captain and keeper who has a bird's eye view of everything that's going on will not be happy with both his bowlers from the northern or southern end. Both bowlers have failed to hit the straps. They're not putting the ball down in the right areas, and it's causing the captain a lot of work to his right, a lot of work to his left. And even though he has been able to stop a few of them, quite a few have gone through now. And if we look at what the extras are, they're probably pretty handy now, the extras of all these balls running down to running past the keeper.
I fully agree with you, Mr. Rob. The extras count is should be close to about 20 at this time. Walcott bowls back of a length outside off stump, and Sachin drives off the back foot through the extra cover region. They run 2, thinking about the 3. There's no third there. That was a beautiful shot by Sachin, a man in form. And skipper Brian Corbin cannot be happy with what he's seen from his 2 opening bowlers. I know him personally, and I can tell that I know that he is not happy with all the work he has to do with the extras, defending the small total.
Oh, beautiful.
What a shot from Sachin. One bounce out to the fielder. It looked good. That's the far side of the boundary. That's a good 80-meter hit to get to 6, but it was short from Walcott. Sachin was up to it. On the back foot, swiveled and pulled out the deep square leg. Disappointing running. They should have got more than 1 for that.
Yeah,
but
actually, I thought it was going into the boundary. It was such a nice, clean hit. Actually, it deserved 6. It was a good, clean hit.
That's a very big boundary out there, Mr. Rob.
Yes, it is.
That was a good hit, and it still went to the fielder on the bunks. Dario comes in, jumps, bowls, and he bowls another full one at the stump. Demar has a swipe, inside edge, trickles away past the keeper's left for a single. The score moves on to 55 for 1 at the end of 5 overs.
And Chillies is really motoring at this time.
Oh, this is going to be more trouble for the skipper. That's a no ball, signaled by the square leg. Somebody was outside of the circle. They had 3 men outside of the 30-yard circle. And as you know, we're still in the power play. Only 2 are allowed out. That was good work from the umpire there at square leg. Skipper Brian Corbin stares at his shoes, gloves on the ground. Can't be happy with his team at this point. Cannot be happy with his team. A free hit coming up now after an already expensive over. I suspect that the skipper will go to his senior leg spin, his senior statesman in the team, the leg spinner, Alessandro Morris, will come from the far end the next over as Azario runs in. And he bowls a slower full toss that Sachin mistimes down to long on for 1 of that free hit. And the over finally comes to an end. The score now moves on to 56 for 1 at the end of 5. And I suspect it's Alessandro Morris from the far end, just trying to regain some control or to get some sort of control over this batting lineup. Westbay desperately needs it.
And Morris, who is a national team veteran, bowls right arm leg spin and is very effective at keeping the scoring rate down. He'll be attacking the stumps. He's a very attacking bowler. He's not a container at all. He likes to hit the stumps. He likes to get wickets, and he'll be in here to try to stem the flow of runs. And he's a good man to turn to if your other bowlers are going for runs, and the scoring rate is getting away from you. He's a good man to turn to. So let's see if he's effective for this last over of the power play.
Alessandro has had one of the most frugal spells in this tournament. 4 overs, 8 runs earlier, and got a couple of wickets. His skipper will need something of the same order if they're to have any chance of derailing this run chase. He comes in, he bowls the first one on target. Where is Captain Demar Johnson going? Oh, that was run out in the making there. There was no single there. Sachin on the back foot just drops it there. Extra cover is quite close in, and Demar Johnson charged down the wicket halfway down, looking for a single, a non-existent single. Alessandro comes in once more to Sachin. He bowls it full. Sachin drives over mid-off. It barely clears mid-off. And it runs away. They get 1. Demar turns back for 2. That was flirted with danger there. He did not time that one well, and that could have easily gone straight to the fielder. The field is set for him to bowl close to Sachin. Long on, short mid-wicket. A man at 45 on the leg side, short fine leg. A deep mid-wicket, mid-off, extra cover, backward point and short third man. Morris comes in once more, bowls to Sachin. And Sachin sweeps, shovels it across the line, into the gap, over the short mid-wicket and bisects the 2 men on the boundary, the long on and the deep mid-wicket fielder for a 4. That was a nicely executed shot. He picked that one early. It was a bit wide of his off stump and he just lifted over the short mid-wicket fielder for 4 runs. 6 runs off the first 3 balls of Alessandro. Score moves on to 62 for 1. Well played by Sachin on the back foot. Gentle push to between short mid-wicket and the fine leg for a single. Demar was well alert to it. Now Demar Johnson has the strike. 7 runs off 4 balls. Score is 63 for 1. The right hand is now on strike, so I suggest a few changes to the field. Long on, deep mid-wicket, short mid-wicket, fine leg, short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover and mid-off. Alessandro comes in to Demar. He bowls. Demar is on the back foot. That's short and wide. He got away with that one. Alessandro got away with that one. It looks like Demar was already made up his mind to go leg side, and the ball pitch turned a bit and hit the bottom edge. Alessandro comes in again. He bowls to Demar, who's on the back foot and dabs it to short third. There's no run there. Good feeling by Yannick Henry. And the over comes to an end. That's the end of the power play. The score is 63 for 1. And Chillies are cruising to this target. They need 82 runs from 14 overs, from 84 balls. It's less than 6 and over at this point. Westbay need a bit of magic, Mr. Rob, to get themselves back into this game. It's just one-way traffic at this point.
I imagine so. It looks like Chillies is in a hurry. And at this rate, I don't see this game going past 15 overs. So Westbay needs to get 2 quick wickets in order to retrieve the situation and peg Chillies back. Because right now, Chillies are they're just flying right now. There's nothing that Westbay can do to stop them from elevating their position.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Rob. They need wickets and they need them in a hurry. They need them in piles. 1, 2, 3 wickets. That's the only way Westbay are getting back into this game. And the skipper has introduced a new bowler, Stefan Goodry. Correction, that's Stefan Goodin. This is his, he's bowling from the pavilion end. He warms up, Sachin on strike. The field is spread now. Short fine leg, short third man, backward point, extra cover in the circle. There's a deep cover, long off, long on, a deep mid-wicket and a deep square leg. Acres and acres of spaces in the outfield. He comes in, right arm off spin to Sachin. Sachin's on the back foot and he punches that one out to deep cover. The fielder dives and they get 2. That's a good feeling on the boundary. Good running by the batters. Not so good ball by the bowler. It was short, it was wide and deserved to be put away.
I don't think we've ever seen Gooding before. He's a new addition to the Westbay team. He's an off-break bowler.
Oh, that was well flighted. Sachin gave it an almighty heave. He missed. He's a new addition. Westbay have quite a few new players in their lineup. Adario Walcott is only 3 games old into this team. This is my first look at Goodin. He comes in around the wicket, bowls, and full. Sachin drives down to long on. just for one. The score moves on to 66 for one, 6.3 overs. And I suspect the skipper might need to be a bit more attacking and bring a man more up into the circle. Tempt Captain DeMar Johnson to go over the top. They need wickets from somewhere, and I don't think they're out in Sachin anytime soon. He's in that good of form this season. The right-hander on strike. The field is short third man. Correction, that's a backward point. Well, a wide short third man, a backward point, extra cover, fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and deep extra cover. Deep cover on the boundary. Good in, changes sides, right arm over the wicket now, bowls to DeMar Johnson. Full into the pad, tuck to mid-wicket. Bowler gives chase, keeps it down to just a single. That was very sensible from DeMar. I think the bowler is trying to tempt him to go big. We all know he's a very aggressive batter, and any bit of flight, loop, or into the pitch, he will play his shots. Sachin on strike now. Minor adjustment to the field by the bowler. Comes around the wicket. Bowls a quicker one that looks like the arm ball. Sachin's on the back foot, cut towards deep point. The fielder at backward point gives chase, and they run two more to the score. It's just easy going for the Westbay team at this point, Mr. Rob.
Yeah, nothing is bothering them at all. There's no devil in the wicket. The bowling is not effective yet, and runs seem to be flowing steadily. And I fear for Westbay.
Gooden comes in, he bowls. Short again. Sachin on the back foot, cuts to deep cover. And they just take a single. I'm quite surprised that the skipper went to Gooden before he went to Ramon Seeley. And Ramon Seeley has a knack of picking up wickets. He is among the top wicket takers so far in the tournament, and the skipper hasn't gone to him as yet. That's quite surprising.
Yeah, but Ramon Seeley, in my estimation, he's an occasional bowler. And as you indicated earlier, he has a knack for breaking partnerships. And I suspect he's trying with Gooden first to see if Gooden is able to extract anything from the pitch and to see if he's able to trouble the batsman any. And if that doesn't work out, he still has Ramon Seeley to rely on. I think in the end, Ramon Seeley will still get 4 overs, but it depends on how these two batsmen go after Gooden.
If your prediction is true, Mr. Rob, Ramon, at the game finishing by 15 overs, Ramon Seeley will not get 4 overs today.
Yes, that's a very good point.
If your prediction comes to fruition, he will not be getting a full quota today. And Alessandro has the ball from the end. Much depends on him. His skipper is relying on him. His team is relying on him. He comes in, he bowls to Sachin. Loops it. Sachin drives the long off. Strolls through for a single. The score moves now to 71 for 1 in 7.1 overs. Oh, that's very sloppy from the Westbay players. No need to fire that throw into Alessandro. And they steal an overthrow. A single became 2. This Westbay team now looks very flat in the field. It seems as if they already accepted defeat. Alessandro comes in, he bowls wide. Sachin sweeps. And is that bowled? Is that bowled or caught? The reaction from the bowler and the keeper says different. Sachin, the ball was on off stump. Sachin tried to swipe through mid-wicket. I'm not sure if there was a bottom edge onto that ball or the ball clipped the stump.
I think they're appealing for a caught behind.
Brian Corbin and Alessandro Morris, both of them are disappointed. Come on, gentlemen.
Yes,
Umpire. The umpire's made
actually,
his
it might be a
decision.
stumping that they're appealing for. But umpire Courtney Young is not impressed. And the Westbay team has to continue without the reward of a wicket.
Well, the umpire's decision are final. Their decision out there is final. I am not sure. They appealed. The umpire said no. Continue with the game, gentlemen. Alessandro takes some time out of the game to get his shoulder over to Ramon Sealy. They're not worried about over it at all. They believe that this game will finish early as well.
Yes. Yes, I think this is a tactic here from Alessandro Morris. He's a wily player. So
is that the Richard Pant delay? Could it be the Richard Pant delay? That's well bowled. Pitches on off. Pitches just outside off. Straight ins. Taken by skipper Brian Corbin. And it's a no ball. The keeper took the ball in front of the stump. It was signaled from square leg. The keeper is disappointed, visibly frustrated. You can tell it's at a boiling point right now, Mr. Rob. Emotions are high, tempers are flaring. The umpire signaled that one from square leg, his gloves. He took the ball in front of the stump. It's by right a no ball. A free hit now for Sachin. Alessandro can't believe it. It was a very good ball. And I think skipper was a bit too excited there to catch it when he saw how good the ball was.
Yes, and I guess the frustrations of the captain are boiling over. Nothing has gone right for Westbay this afternoon, mostly by their own making anyway. They have not really done anything to capture the wickets of the Chillies team. Nothing has gone right for them. And they're a little bit frustrated at this point in time.
Alessandro comes in for a free hit. He bowls to Sachin. A full toss hit straight back over his head. It won't carry just outside of the 30-yard circle. They run a single. Even the bowler frustration is visible right now. The score moves on to 74 for 1 in 7.3 overs. Chillies are halfway there in just 7.5 overs. Mr. Rob, your prediction might be on point for 15 overs finish.
Well, I'm hoping not. I want to see a good game, actually, as a neutral. I would like to see, Westbay come back and at least make a fist of it so that we don't have a situation where it's just a walkover. This is not anticipated at the start of the game.
This was a keenly anticipated contest. Two very good teams. Alessandro bowls to Demar into the pads. He tucked that one to the long leg region. The fielder from deep square leg ran around to field. They collect 2 runs. 2 more to the score. Alessandro figures now 1.4 overs, 13. He comes in, he bowls to Demar. That one has a bit of a zip. Demar is well forward, blocked it back to the bowler. I don't see Demar taking any risk against Alessandro. He will try to bat him out, play that captain's innings. Don't give his wicket to Alessandro. Well bowled by Morris. Flighted into the pad. There was an appeal, but it looks like it was going down the leg. The over comes to an end, 76 for 1 at the end of 8 overs.
I think that was a very good over, actually, in the context of where the game is at. I mean, as I indicated earlier, the frustrations seem to be boiling over. But I don't think Westbay is panicking at this time. They need to keep a level head. The game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. And they're still in with a chance. But they need to consolidate. They need good in here to produce a good 4, and they'll be in with a shout coming on to the end of the innings.
First and foremost, they need to put the frustrations of the last over behind them and focus. That ball is short into the pitch, hit out to deep to Cow Corner, and it's gone for a 1-bump 4 between the long on and Cow Corner fielder. Sachin is in some fine form. That's 4 runs. Goodin has been short most of the spell. And I think it's a time that they should look at giving Ramon Sealy a bowl. He has a knack for picking up wickets, and the only way for them to win this game is by getting wickets. There's no restricting this Chillies team in 20 overs.
Yes, and as I said earlier, I'm really interested to see how Gooding goes. He's new to the scene here in the Westbay team and in Cayman Cricket. And if he doesn't get his act together, he'll go for a few.
And they put him into the firing line right away, his first game, bowling to the man with the most runs in the tournament, and Captain DeMar Johnson, an aggressive batter. So this is, in a sense, a trial by fire.
Absolutely. And you know, I don't think it's long before we see Ramon Sealy, because Gooding, even though he's holding his own, he's not penetrative.
It's too easy for DeMar and Sachin with him on. He's not producing any bite off the wicket. He comes in, he bowls. Quicker one down the leg, well taken by skipper Brian Corbin. Wide. Brian Corbin is earning his money today behind the stumps. He's working very hard behind the stumps today. Gooden again, minor adjustments to the field. The deep backward square leg, deep square leg fielder out, now goes out to deep backward square leg. 4 still in the circle. Gooden comes in, he bowls. A flighted one just outside the off stump. And DeMar went on the back foot to that one, and he got bottom edge to backward point. No run. And the field is backward point. It's a wide third man, backward point, extra cover, short mid wicket in the circle. Gooden comes in. He bowls to DeMar. Flighted one. And that one just missed the off stump. DeMar went on the back foot to cut, and he missed. Keeper Brian Corbin fumbled to give away a bye. The extra count should be very high at this point, Mr. Rob. Very sloppy from Westbay.
Yes, and I'm rather surprised, to be honest. The 144 odd that Westbay made, I think was a defendable total, and their approach to defending that total is not good. And here we go again.
Gooden comes, he bowls short. Sachin is on the back foot, and he smacks it down the ground over the side screen. 6 runs. And that's the end of that over, and I believe that's the end of Gooden as well.
And this is exactly what I feared. New to the scene, he doesn't know DeMar Johnson. He doesn't know Sachin, but his bowling doesn't seem penetrative enough to worry the batsman. And they've been able to plunder those runs quite easily. Scores 89 off 11 overs, and Gooden has gone for 19 off his 2. And as I said before, I don't think it's long before skipper Corbin turns to Ramon Sealy.
Javon Campbell is in this team as well. He is known to be a bit of a golden arm. He goes for runs, but he gets important wickets. We are yet to see him with the ball as Morris continues from the far end. He bowls to DeMar. DeMar strokes it back to him. I think the plan now is just to see off Morris and score runs whenever he gives them to you, and just try to get as much from the other end. Whatever pressure Alessandro Morris is creating is just leaking at the other end. He bowls a full toss to DeMar. On his pads, he clipped that one to deep backward square leg. They run 1, come back for a second. The fielder out there moved to his right and did the fielding, keeps it to 2. The score now moves on to 91 and 9.2 overs for 1 wicket. And it's pretty much a stroll now. The players, hands on hips, hands in pockets. This Westbay team is down and out. Oh, well bowled by Alexandro. We know the fight in him. He would not give up. He is someone who would not give up. He would believe that he can turn this game.
There's 54 runs needed in 10.4 overs.
Oh, Alessandro bowled a quicker one, short. DeMar went on the back foot, and he hit that one hard to extra cover. The fielder let it through. Believe that was Gooden. And they get a single, long off, cleans it up. Now Sachin on strike, changes to the field. Alessandro also changing to the left hand, and now he comes around the wicket. Short third man, backward point, extra cover, short fine leg in the circle. Morris comes in, around the wicket to the left-handed Sachin. He bowls, floats it up, full. Sachin pokes at it, and it's just to the left of the bowler. He feels it. No run. Alessandro figures 2.5 overs, 16 runs. But the most important part, no wickets for him. He comes in around the wicket, Sachin. He bowls a quicker one. Sachin's on the back foot, and he pulls it to mid-wicket. Demar charges for one, turns, and he goes quickly. 2 runs. That's very good running by the Chillies team. And the score now moves on to 94 for 1 in the 10th over. Alessandro Morris, 3 overs, 18. But the key part, the partnership is now 69 from 44. Sachin contributed 34 off 25, and skipper Demar Johnson, 19 from 22. And I suspect there's quite a few extras in that partnership as well. The third partner in that partnership. Extras count is in the double figures, and defending 145. Extras is 23. 23 runs are extras, and you're defending 145. That is unacceptable at any level of cricket.
Yes, and just as I suspected, the extras making a significant contribution to this total of 94.
And spoken about him earlier, golden arm, Javon Campbell into the attack from the pavilion end. He comes in, he bowls to Demar. Full Yorker in the line of leg stump. Demar drives that one down to long on. They get a single. And the score now moves on to 95 for 1 in the 11th over.
I'm just wondering why Captain Brian Corbin would have held back Campbell and allowed Gooding to bowl 2 overs. I suspect that was speculative, but in my estimation, he got 1 over too many, and Campbell should have been bowling already.
I completely agree with you, Mr. Rob. Campbell comes in, he bowls that one on the line of leg stump. It went down the leg to left-hander. Corbin fields. A slight fumble. They get no run, but a wide nonetheless. And I suspect that the Westbay guys are down for the count. There is no life on the field. They're just flat. Campbell comes in. He bowls to Sachin. Full. Sachin drives down the ground. The field at long on. Adario Walcott comes around, picks it up, keeps it to 1. That's good fielding. Good bowling. Well played by Sachin. Good cricket all around, Mr. Rob.
Absolutely, and it shows that Westbay hasn't given up, which is good. They need to fight to the end. I mean, the backs are against the wall right now. They don't want this game to just peter out, but they're hoping that something happens for them, and the only way that that's going to happen is if they continue to fight. They can't put their hands in their heads and hope that something happens. Campbell has to make something happen for Westbay here.
Campbell comes in, passes the umpire, jumps, bowls, full again into the pads of skipper Demar. He strokes it out a long on, takes 1. Yannick Henry does the fielding, returns to the bowler, and the score moves on to 98 for 1 in 10.3 overs. 47 runs, Mr. Rob. 47 to achieve the target. That's quite a bit away as yet, but Westbay need wickets. They need to get Sachin out. They need to get Demar out. Bring fresh batters to the crease. Campbell comes in, bowls it short. Sachin hits it down to long on. Just a single. It's been a decent over so far.
Yes, steady bowler as you indicated earlier. He's not going to. Campbell doesn't have the pace to scare anyone, but he's a very, very tidy, very good bowler when it comes to bowling close to the batter, and he should restrict the runs a little.
Campbell comes in, he bowls, full toss. Demar hits it down to long on. Excursion long off for 1. Campbell is not the quickest bowler. He's coming back from injury. He had a broken foot last year, so he's not up to the pace that he was. But what he does have is a bag of tricks. He has cutters, slow balls, he has a good away swinger, and he tries very hard at his bowling. He charges in again and pulls out of it. That's a dead ball. Campbell will reset. Sachin will reset. The score is 99 for 1. 4 to 6 more runs to go. And Westbay they desperately need something. They need a bit of magic in the field right now from a bowler, from a fielder, from someone. Campbell comes in, he bowls, and Sachin drives down the ground into the non-striker, deflected, and they take 1.
And that was an excellent drive there, stopped by the non-striker. And that ball would have raced down to long off. There was a fielder down at long off. I don't think he would have gotten 4 runs, but that was an excellent drive there from the left-hander.
A drive from a man in form, Mr. Rob.
Yes, and he moves on to 37 right now. He's slowly encroaching on that 450, which would push his run rate very, very high. And Sachin is a person that we are actually looking at for national duty as soon as he is qualified. I know I've spoken to him a couple of times before to keep him in check and let him know that he's still in the reckoning. As long as he qualifies, I'm sure that he will come very close to making the national team.
Alessandro Morris continues. He's bowling out. As skipper Brian Corbin has no choice but to give his talisman the opportunity to change his game. He starts off with a dot to Sachin. And I fully agree with you, Mr. Rob. Sachin is a very good batsman. He will be a very good addition to that team, and competition for spots is always a good thing. It only makes the cricket better, only makes it more competitive. Alessandro bowls full. Sachin swings across the line, out to deep mid-wicket, and that's 4 runs. 1 bump 4 for Sachin. He moves now to 41 from 29 balls. The score moves past 100. And Sachin just keeps going. What surprised me today with this innings, Mr. Rob, it is not a typical Sachin innings. A typical Sachin innings, he goes somewhere at the strike rate about 200. And this one has been just around 150, 120 at times. It was an innings that the team needed, and he stepped up. Alejandro comes in, he bowls full to Sachin, almost under the bat. Back to the bowler, no run.
And I need to agree with you on that last comment there. This innings is actually a very sedate innings from Sachin. Is normally more aggressive. The runs come a lot faster. But I like this innings. It's well paced.
I agree. Not chasing a very big total. And he knows once he bats to the end, they should win the game. And that's what he's been doing, taking it easy, picking his balls, picking his bowlers to go after. Morris bowls that one full again. Sachin strokes it along off. They take a single. Demar Johnson on strike. 4 balls completed in the over. Score is 106 for 1. Morris comes in. He bowls to Demar Johnson. Demar is forward and blocks that one. 2 extra cover, no runs. I suspect that the same will happen to the last ball of this over and see out Alessandro Morris. That is key in beating this Westbay team. Keep him wicketless, and part of the job is done. Morris comes in and he bowls to Demar, and he just tucks into the pad, just tucks it off his legs. They go for 1, they come back for 2. The fielder in the boundary returns the throw to the keeper. It's a bit wide and wayward, and they get 2 runs. The end of a spell by Alessandro Morris, 25 runs in his 4 overs. But crucially for the Chillies team, no wickets.
I think Alessandro, knowing how competitive he is, he would be very disappointed with that spell. 4 overs, 25 runs, no wicket, not effective at all.
I completely agree.
Not doing the job that his captain would have relied on him to do.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Rob. You hit the nail on the head with that. Look at him, a short third man, hands on hip, disappointed by that spell. And it was just over 6 runs and over, but he knows that more is required from him if this Westbay team were to win this game. And knowing the competitive nature in him, knowing the fighter that he is out there, he is very disappointed by that spell. Campbell back into the attack from the pavilion end. Runs into bowl at Sachin. And he hits him on the pad. Was that off the inside edge?
Looked to be pitched outside leg stump.
Off the inside edge into the pad. Trickle to backward point. They take a single. And the score moves on to 108. That's correction, 109 for 1 in 12.1 overs. Campbell comes in. He pulls out at the last moment. Another dead ball. Something with his run. He marks it again. He goes back. The Westbay fielders are hands on hips.
Captain is showing signs of concern.
Campbell comes in and he bowls into Demar, and Demar walks it for 6. All the way onto the stand. 6 more to the total. Demar is getting in on the act now. He was going under runner ball for this innings. He's still under runner ball. No, he just 30 from 28 now. He just passed 100 strike rate. He was going less than runner ball for most of it. But I think now they're just going to go for that target that is just 30 runs away and try to get their net run rate as high as possible. Campbell comes in now, passes the umpire, bowls to Demar into the pitch. Demar pokes at it, pushes it into the cover point region. The fielder stops it with his foot. They take a single.
That's very intelligent batting. I'm seeing a more mature innings from Demar Johnson here today, coming in at number 3. Normally, he's considered a finisher, coming in at number 7 or number 8, and just whacking the ball around. But this innings, he's played a few in the offside and in the onside after hitting the boundary, and his innings is maturing.
Could he be sending a message to the selectors that say, hey guys, I can bat, and I can bat up the order as well? Campbell comes in there, he bowls a full straight one, blocks the extra cover, no run.
If he is sending a message, it's a very cryptic message. It's one that would need further interpretation, but he's probably showing that he can bat anywhere in the innings.
I agree with you, Mr. Rob. He is a batter, and he could bat anywhere in the innings, and his team needed him at 3 today, and he is doing the job that he went out there to do. 31 from 29. Sachin at the other end is 45 from 34. Correction, that's 43 from 34. And Campbell bowls another dot ball. Good feeling off his own bowling there. He comes into Sachin, passes the umpire, bowls into the wicket, and Sachin is hitting it down the ground, and that's 4 runs straight back past the bowler. The fielder at long on, Yannick Henry, correction, long off was a bit too wide, and that just raced into the boundary. 4 more to Sachin. He moves to 47 within 3 runs of his 4th 50 in this tournament.
So if we take a look at the partnership here, it's 95 of 62 deliveries. That's a huge partnership. Sachin on 47 off 35, and Demar Johnson 31 off 29. I think this is a partnership that will kill off the Westbay team in this match.
What I look at in that graphic there, Mr. Rob, that you have on the screen, 47 and 31 is 78. And the partnership is 95. There's a third partner, a silent one in that partnership.
Yes, very much so.
Extras in the 20s in a 2020 game, that is unacceptable at any level. Especially when you have a subpar total on a fantastic batting track. To give away 24 extras is criminal.
Yeah, without the level of bowlers who just didn't fire today. Romeo Dunker bowled a beamer, which I presume rattled his confidence. He bowled quite a few full tosses down the leg side that were dispatched. And I think it was very disappointing for the captain to see his fast bowler being beaten like that.
New bowler into the attack, Darian Seal, to be exact. He bowls. Strapping lad comes from the far end. He bowls a short one into Demar's chest. The keeper, captain, checked on him. Some byplay going on out there. All in fun and games. This is my first look at Darian Seal. Haven't seen much of him. What can you tell me about him, Mr. Rob?
Actually, I don't know him either, to be honest. And this is the first time I'm seeing him as well.
Has a strong action. He bowls a full one. Demar clips it out to wide long on. They run two. That's very good running. Throw comes back to the bowler. Batsman is well in. He looks pretty good bowler, pretty decent bowler. Strong action.
Yes.
A bit of pace. Could have gone to him earlier.
I was just about to say the same thing. I wondered, and it goes back to these 2 overs by Gooden, which I think were unwarranted.
He looks like a hit the deck kind of bowler. He's a tall fella. Hit the deck hard there. Bottom edge trickles out to deep mid wicket, and they run 2 more. Unnecessary throw back to the bowler from Sheldon Crawford on the boundary. The batsman was well in. No need to fire that one in so hard. That could have easily ran away for overthrows. Score moves on to 124 for 1 in 13.3. And I can confidently say now, Mr. Rob, that this game is in the bag for Chillies.
I have to agree with you, as that other one is bisecting 2 fielders down on the deep mid-wicket boundary, and that goes in the boundary for another 4. The 4s keep coming.
It was a length ball into the body, and Demar just flicked that one through the mid-wicket area between the cow corner and square leg fielder. And on this fast outfielder, Jimmy Powell, if you get it between those fielders and at any pace, it will be running away. Fielders on the boundary, they have to put in that extra yard. They have to make the dives to save balls that are in the gaps. Seals comes in, bowls into the wicket. Demar cuts it to backward point. They take a single. Score moves on to 129 for 1 in the 13.5 overs. Surprise no Ramon Sealy this innings, Mr. Rob.
Yes, and by my reckoning, it is too late now. So we are where we are. And I think Westbay has only themselves to blame for this game that got away from them after scoring a decent 144. And they need a miracle now.
Shot from Sachin. Driving it to wide long off. Demar charges back for the second. Throw comes into the bowler's end, halfway in the pitch, middle of the pitch. They get 2. Sachin moves to 49. They are 14 away from victory with 6 overs remaining. And I suspect it would not go beyond the 16th over. Mr. Rob, your prediction is still on.
Yes, my prediction is still on. There's 1 over to 15 coming up. And depending on who bowls this over, we could well be finished.
We have Ramon Sealy comes into the attack for this 1 over now, Mr. Rob.
And I just said it was a little bit too late, didn't I? But here he comes, and better late than never.
I think this over is just to get the game, just a bowling over. Don't put pressure on don't break any young bowler's confidence. And he's just doing it as a senior man in the team to take up the mantle now to just deliver the over. 14 runs away. Demar 40 from 34. Sachin 49 from 37. Partnership in excess of 100.
And Demar has grown in confidence since his innings started.
Sealy from the pavilion end passes the umpire with his off spin. Floats it. Demar swipes across the line on the bounce to the fielder at cow corner. They take a single, good throw, back to the bowler. Sachin on 49 now with the strike. 4 50s in 6 games. Should be approaching 300 runs in this tournament. Sealy comes over the wicket to the left-handed Sachin. He bowls Oh, well bowled. There was a bit of turn there, Mr. Rob. Sachin cautiously poked at it.
I think Sachin is toying with them. He's on the threshold of yet another milestone, and of course he doesn't want to throw it away now.
Sealy comes in. He bowls high arm action. Full toss, a gentle full toss. Oh no, Sachin, what have you done? Oh, the fielder didn't run him out. That was no run there, Sachin. Straight to the fielder at backward point, and he took off charging for a single. Sent back by Captain Demar. Lazy throw from the fielder, wide. And Sachin survives.
Yes.
Oh, well bowled by Ramon Sealy. Experience at the forefront here, Mr. Rob.
Yes, and that last ball there could have been a run out if the fielder had charged the ball, but he waited for the ball to come to him, and the run out was off.
And that's another 50 for Sachin. 50 off 40 ball, well played. 450 in 6 games.
He's in a rich vein of form.
And Ramon Sealy has bowled a decent over so far. Experience at the forefront again, Mr. Rob. He's varied his pace, varied his length. Got one to hold in the track and turn a bit.
Yeah, and he should have been bowling 4 overs ago. Even as an experiment to see what would be in the pitch for him. But I think he's come a little bit too late.
That's well bowled, almost Yorker, poked to point for 1. And needless throw again by Dunker. Batsman was safely home and he just threw that ball. I think that throw was more out of frustration than trying to run the batsman out.
Absolutely. The final nail is in the coffin, and it's only for the pastor to deliver the last rites now. And Westbay has given up the ghost.
Captain Brian Corbin walks to his position looking dejected. Arms across his chest now folded. And 15 overs are up, 134 for 1, 11 to get. And it's an early day. It will be an early day for the boys.
Yes, there's still bright sun shining outside at the Jimmy Powell Oval. And even though the shadows are lengthening, there's still at least another 2.5 to 3 hours of sunlight left here. And I don't know that Westbay has made hay while the sun shines.
Sealed bowls, charges in bowls, full outside off stump. Demar drives it to long off. They take a single. He moves now to 43. Could he get a 50 as well?
Absolutely. He just needs to get the strike from Sachin, who seems to have taken over most of the strike now, and he can well get a 50. Be a well-deserved 52. I'm sure it will vindicate his decision to come at number 3, and it will be a good win for Chillies.
Seals comes in, bowls, back of a length. Oh, and guides that one between the keeper and short third man. 4 runs for Sachin. That was deliberately played. I don't think he intended to get it that fine, but 4 runs nevertheless.
That was a very good shot. The intention was there. Like you said, I don't think he meant it to go that close to the keeper, but the intention was there to guide that ball between the keeper and the short third man, and it was 4 from the time it left the bat.
6 runs now to get. Sachin on strike, 54 from 42. Demar at the non-strikers and 43 from 37. Sealed with the ball from the far end. He comes in. Passes the umpire, jumps, delivers short. Sachin just guides that one to backward point. Ramon Sealy does the fielding. There's no run. Back on your comment with Westbay didn't make hay while the sun shine. I think they did themselves terrible with the bat. For a team with that much potential with the bat, I think they should have gotten on this pitch here at least 170. But their leading batter, Ramon Sealy, who has the second most runs in this tournament, he fell in single figures today. And that was a shot in the chest for them. and Sheldon Crawford tried to bat them out of a hole, and he got stuck. And if it wasn't for a partnership with Dunker and skipper Brian Corbin, his score would have been much less than this 145 that they're chasing. It would probably be in the vicinity of 115, 120.
Absolutely. And again, Ramon Sealy, who's the premier batsman in the Westbay team, would be very disappointed with the way he got out. Just a gentle push over the bowler's head. The fielder running around from mid-on and taking a simple catch. And he was confounded by his own decision to push that ball so gently.
I think Romario Edwards got a bit of revenge on Ramon Sealy. Not too long back, Ramon Sealy took Romario Edwards for 28 in an opening over. And Romario Edwards got one back today.
Yes, I was actually privileged to see that 28 in that first over. It was very belligerent, as though he had an agenda, but it was really great to see our premier batsman getting some runs in the local league. But here we are. The innings is more or less winding down. It looks like Sealy will continue to bowl what should be the last over. 5 or 6 runs needed. But we'll wait and see. As Westbay is going to win this game. Is going to lose this game. They're going to drop points and be further behind the Chillies team. Demar heaves that one into the outfield down to corner. The sun is in the fielder's eyes. He blocks his eyes, and the ball drops just inside the boundary. The fielder over there, that's Seals, picks the ball up within 6 inches of the rope, and the batsmen are able to cross for 2. So just 4 needed. And Captain Demar Johnson has his eyes set on hitting this 4. He slices that one off the bat. It runs down to third man. Alessandro Morris is after it. He retrieves it now. And the batsmen are able to cross for 2 more. So, just 2 needed for what would be considered to be a very easy win for Chillies. And it really should have been. And that looks like it as Demar gets under that one. He heaves it down to cow corner. It goes in the boundary for 4 runs. And let's see if that is the end. 4 runs for Demar, and that would put him over the threshold of 50, a good 50 for him, and he brings his team home with his other partner, Sachin Diwangana, both batters getting 50, a huge partnership of 122 of 83 balls, with Demar getting 51 of 40, Sachin getting 54 of 25, and the extras, a very healthy contribution of the extras of 24 extras in the innings. And if we look at the batting stats here for Chillies, we'll bring that up in a minute, and we'll see how that goes. The Chillies, Jermaine Baker got 18 of 16. Demar 51 not out of 40. And Sachin 54 not out of 46. So Chillies wins that match very, very comfortably with over 3 overs left. And let's take a look at the bowling figures here to see how the Westbay bowlers went. So Westbay Dario Walker, 3 for 25, taking one. Dunker, only 2 overs for the national seam bowler. 26 runs, no wicket. Alessandro Morris, 25 off his 4. He will be disappointed with that. Stefan Gooden, 19 off 2. So is Javon Campbell, 19 off 2. Darian Seals, 16 off 2. And Ramon Sealy, 1.3 overs and getting 11 runs. So in the end, Chillies was able to get home pretty comfortably, winning by 8 wickets, scoring 154, I think it was, on the board. A very easy win for Chillies. And I'm hoping that we can get an interview with the captains very shortly, if we can stand by for that in a minute or two. Just stand by. Let's try and get an interview with the captains.
And well done with the bat as well. You led the way with the bat today. Your thoughts on the game?
My thought was to get them up around 120, 130. That was it all. And we know from there we will follow up and make the runs.
Well, this Westbay batting lineup is a very good batting lineup. You have the former. With the captain Demar Johnson of the victorious Chillies team. They restricted a powerful batting lineup in Westbay for under 150. How did you guys go about restricting that batting lineup to that score?
You know, for the past couple games we have the spinners doing the job. So we have the two frontline pacers. So I just plan to give them like 2 over, 3 over, and then I bring on the spinners. And
last week you mentioned that the key wicket in that game was Patrick Heron. Romario Edwards did it for you again this week. He got the key wicket of the Westbay team batter, Ramon Sealy, number 2 in the runs chart for the season, and he got him quite cheaply. Is that a plan from you early to use that new ball with Romario Edwards to pick the key batsman from the opposition team?
yeah, basically yes, it was a plan because we've been planning from last week. We just need to get out Ramon Sealy, and they have a couple other batsmen, but we weren't worried about them.
Have you got Ramon Sealy out early and then you choked and you squeezed them as hard as you could? The run rate at one point was well below 7 and over, and it was a fabulous innings by your fast bowling counterpart Romeo Dunker with the bat. Fast bowlers making all the runs today.
Oh yeah. I want to give shout out to Romeo Dunker for real. He batted well, and he brought the score to that.
Yeah, because we were thinking that the way you guys were bowling excellently. You probably went an over or 2 more with the spinners than you probably should have. And again, surprisingly, you didn't take an over with the ball for yourself.
No, I feel a little niggled, so I don't really want to act it up.
I understand. Knowing national duties are around the corner, you can't aggravate those little niggles and make them full-blown injuries. You have to consider that. Onto the batting part of it now. Sachin, what can you say about him? The man has been in a purple patch in this tournament, 4 50s in 6 games as a skipper. You can't ask for much more than that.
No, actually, I can't ask so much more than that. Sachin been batting well from this season, but every minute I talk to him as well. Even before he went on bat, I always tell him, this is your day, this is your day. Always, this is your day. You have to get 100 today, 50, it don't matter. You have to pass 50 and we will win the game.
Well said. And it was a complete performance from him today. He gave you 4 overs with the ball, 23 runs and a wicket, and then came 50 not out to the bat. And it wasn't your typical Sachin innings today. He tempered it down, he toned it down a bit, and it looked like you were talking to him, you were speaking to him constantly through that partnership. And was it you just telling him, Sachin, be here at the end?
Yeah, basically I was telling me and you being here, we can't lose this game. We just need to tick around the ball and just don't soak up no dot ball.
And it was a good 50 from you as well, a skipper's knock. We were surprised to see you coming in at number 3, but you bat level-headed. For a long time you played an innings you're not known for your slow innings. Your innings are very aggressive bottom ball kind of innings, and for the majority of your innings today you were less than run a ball. You were stroking the 1s, you were running hard for the 2s, and there wasn't an aggressive shot for the first half of your innings. Is that something that you're working on to get to more out of your batting? As we all know, you have the ability to score big runs. Is something that you're working on to start off a bit slow, or is just for this situation because you're only chasing 145?
No. it's something I'm working on because I know I could hit the ball anywhere. You understand? So I just working on the timing and the touch, and just don't soak up that ball.
It was a very good game from you guys. That's assured you of a top 2 finish. You have one more game remaining. That's Cayman Brack, and you have them in a few weeks' time. How do you see that game going? Early prediction.
As I say, cricket play on the day, so we're just waiting for that day. Then we do what we have to do.
Your final question. Your batting lineup has been. Now you got some runs. It's Sachin Baker. You got some runs. With that game, will you tinker with your batting lineup a bit more to give guys who haven't had time in the middle some time in the middle, or will you just stick to what is working for you?
Basically, I would, for this game coming, a lot of people gonna get their chance to bat as well.
And as a player in a team, you have to understand and appreciate that your skipper with the team is first, winning, qualifying is first, and we will keep doing what we're doing right, and then everybody will get their chance, because in bigger games to come, semi-final, final, you need contributions right down that lineup, and that batting lineup is quite long that Chillies have.
Yeah, basically, yeah. As I say, we're not rushing into things. We're just taking it step by step and do what need to be done.
All right, again, congratulations, skipper. Well played innings, well played game, and congratulations to the Chillies team. Top 2 finish with 1 game in the bag. Well done. All right, we have here the man in form, the top scoring batter of the tournament so far. Just a few words, Sachin. How is it? It's coming out sweet out of that bat.
Yeah, I'm so happy for that. I make 450 in 6 innings.
450 in 6 innings, quite consistent, quite a purple patch. But your work with the ball today, you did very good with the ball as well. 4 overs, 23 runs, 1 wicket. What do you credit the success to?
Yeah, I'm making practice every day. This is the reason, and we have good team, good support. The mat also give me good support.
That opening partnership with you and Baker, probably one of the most feared opening partnership in this tournament right now. How much do you, by Baker being a national opener, how much do you learn from him? How much does he help you to start? How is that partnership so successful?
Yeah, Baker is giving me good support, and he learning everything, and he's a good guy. I like to play with Baker.
All right, Sachin, man of very few words. Congratulations. I wish you many successes, and you can give somebody a chance next week now, the next game.
So there you have it. Chillies coming out winners against the Westbay team, and we can now disclose for you the player of the match. That would be Sachin. They won Ghana. Hit 54, I think it was, of 42 balls. A very good day for Chillies in the field. So thank you very much for joining us here today. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Please join us for another round of Cayman Cricket sponsored Daniel Morris Division 2 T20. See you then.